G'day legends. If you want to know how to spray your own stripes like this, sit back, relax, and we'll get on with it.
Review by Mod Scale Models.
G'day legends, Mod from Mod Scale Models. I'm back. Again. Or is that still? Hey, what are we doing today? Product review. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I don't know if it's a review just yet. But what are we doing? Well, we're going to, let me give you the story. I've been working behind the scenes with Chris from The Lazy Modeler in regards to developing some stripes which come in a mask form. And this is it. This is what we've come up with. Chris is really, he's world renowned for his flames that he does. And I've been chatting with him and I said, hey, mate, do you reckon you could maybe come up with some stripes, generic stripes that are in your sort of templates? And he said, yeah, leave it with me and I'll get back to you. Well, he's got back to me and he's sent up a couple of these for me to try. And I've just had a quick look at them and yeah, seriously. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, I could mask them up with normal tape, okay? You can, but the difference is the thickness of these masks and the stickiness of the mask. When it goes down, it stays down and it's fantastic. So what I thought I'd do, instead of just waffling on about it, how about we do a demo? I've got this 370Z, which I call Elvis because it's had more hits than him. And I'm doing this for another review, actually, on an airbrush to be released later. So what I thought we'd do is I thought we'll pick a mask stripe, we'll stick it on, mask up this and paint it, say like a black metallic or something, all right? And then I'll come back and I'll report on it. So does that sound something you're interested in? Yeah, all right. I'll get set up and I'll come back and I'll show you how I put them on and we'll go from there. All right, so what do we need to do it? Well, we're going to need our trusty XL handle and number 11 blade. All right, so I always say when you're doing this sort of stuff, don't muck around. Get yourself a nice new blade because that tip is absolutely, let me bring that in. That tip is absolutely critical when you're cutting, okay? For our model world, we use, as you know, we use the whole blade for different tasks. But for this particular instance, you just want to use the tip, okay? So what I do, I'll put a new one in, all right? Now, I won't discard this one just yet because the blades that are no longer suitable for first round, I keep them because the reason why I keep them, because I use them for cleaning off my glues off my applicator, okay? So that's, so I have a separate little jar for them. Whoop, sorry guys. Why I knocked the camera off and stabbed myself with a blade. So yeah, I keep them for a second round use, but for a first round use, let's get a nice new blade. And I like to use XL, made in the USA. Okay, so number 11. So let's get that in there. All right. Okay, let's put that back in my little cubby. And then what I do, I just work, I've worked out which one I want. And I think we'll go for this one. Why not? Because it's on the end, right? I always say, when you're doing stuff like this, these are pretty thick bases, so you might need another little pass. That's a bit better. A little bit more pressure. I always say, let the blade do the work. You're just along for the ride. So that's that. Now, what you can do, you can trim it up even more so you can work out exactly where you want it. Oh, I think this is going to look sick. So I'll go ahead and start that. But what I do need to do, I need to use Halo, my magnifying glass, because I'm blind. And then I'll come back and I'll show you when I've got that section done, that section there. Okay? All right, so we've got that. And we're going to go like yay. I'm kind of thinking we're going to put it like yay. I think. So what we're going to do, I'll cut it right in there. And this is where I use the whole blade. Okay. And she'll go like yay. All right. So what I'll do, I'll get this off now. Actually, what I might do the roof first, just to show you. Now, you could measure it. I'm not going to bother. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to bother for the exercise. But you could definitely measure center, and that would help heaps. So let's work our magic. All right. Not quite. All right. So we've got that on there. Now we need to remove the backing. So what I'll do, I'll get under the scope and I'll remove that backing. Sorry, guys. All right, so I've got the turret on. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, so that's on. You know what? You could even leave that and have the most subtle colour without having to paint your own colours if you wanted to. Look at that. So there might be a suggestion that Chris brings out coloured ones already and then you don't have to paint them. How cool would that be? So there you go. So that's on. So I'll go ahead and get the tailgate and the bonnet on, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what the next stage is. Okay, so I've got the other ones on. Sorry, I couldn't really, I needed my magnifying glass just to help me with the precision. And then what you do, this is the last one on the tailgate, obviously, and I'll bring that in for you guys. Okay, so it's got a backing on it which holds it all in place. Okay, so you can get that fine detailed line, yeah. And then all you do once you've worked it in, okay, like yay, then you just grab your little I just use my little tweezers, yeah, and then you carefully peel it away, fold down the end, and then you're done. And then you've got, let me get rid of that, let me get rid of them. Then you've got yourself a wicked stripe. So from there, what do? Well, what I will do is I'll grab this, right? This is my little silicone tip, okay? And then I will just run it down like this. Yeah, just to make sure that you really want the surface, you want the decal, the mask surface to mate with the body, okay? So what I mean by mate, you want it to be absolutely schmicko. And then what I would do it again just before I go to booth to spray. I just make sure again. But from my past experience with the Lazy Modeler masks, they sit and they sit well. They don't tend to lift. They're fantastic like that. So that's done. Now, next stage. Well, this is a bit exciting, isn't it? I love trying new products, particularly that haven't been released, right? So what I'll do, I'll get all this masked off because I need Halo again to help me, and then I'll come back when I've got the outline masked up. Right here. So, couple of little tips from me to you guys. Use good quality tape. All right. I find tape like the Tamiya is fantastic for this sort of work. The adhesion is amazing, but not to the point where it's going to cause any damage. Okay. Or most importantly, leave a residue behind on your fresh paintwork. Okay. Another little tip I can give you guys is when you are masking up, say a classic example. Oh, let me grab this piece. When you're masking up, I'll bring down Halo. When you're masking up, run your yellow, let me grab a little bit of yellow tape. Okay. When you're masking up, right, what you want to do is let me get rid of that. What you want to do is you want to get as close, but not all the way to the edge, but as close as you can to the mask. Now, the reason being, just for some reason, I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to get that stuff off my hand. Where's Pointer? Pointer, where are you, mate? We haven't seen Pointer for a bit. What you want to do is you want to get close to the line, but back a little bit. That reason why it's a good idea, because if for some reason, if you don't have that tape completely down, it's up a little bit, hopefully that little bit of overspray will land on the tape edge and not on your fresh paint. Okay? Or if you haven't pushed it down enough, hopefully, if there's a little tiny lift somewhere, this section here will take care of it. I hope that makes sense. Right, so all masked up. I'll mask the rest of it off, and what I'll do, I'll go back to the booth and continue with the other review I'm doing on the airbrush. And when I've finished putting this color on, I'll come back and I'll show you guys the result. Well, I've come back from the booth, I've unmasked it, and check it out. Looks fantastic. I've just got to put some black across where the windscreen mold is, but look at the effect. How good is that? So, yeah. So, thanks to the Lazy Modeler for coming up with a workable sheet. It is fantastic. So, now that I've done some product testing on it and I know it works, where to from here? Well, I'll obviously get back in touch with Chris, and we'll see if it's viable to go into production, or Chris will go into production with these, and then you'll be able to get them from the Lazy Modeler. In the meantime, they've got lots of other things. They've got the Sandman panel van, or the Shag and Wagon as I call it. They've got the vinyl decals for them, and these are the masks that I was telling you about. All right, they've got lots of different styles of masks and that sort of stuff. So go check them out. And I've got in the description below, I've got a discount code for them. And go check them out. And I will go back to the booth with the airbrush that I'm trialing, and we'll get this in 2K clear. But I'd say, yeah, that's a success. Yep. If you enjoy these type of product testing / review, I've changed it because it's not really a review because it's not ready for the public yet, but it's testing, right? And it's kind of a review as well. But anyway, if you enjoy this sort of content, like, comment, subscribe, and when you do, let me know where you're from. A guy from France reached out to me just the other day. G'day, mate. Bonjour. Said that he's watching from all the way over there, and I love that. It just floats my boat when you guys tell me where you're from. I think it's so great, and it's so refreshing that there's a lot of friends around the world who share the same passion as I do. And yeah, so smash that subscribe button, please, and leave a comment, and smash the like button, and I'll stop waffling, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.